Welcome to On This Day in Grateful Dead history. We're doing our deep dive into the Dead's past.
Sounds good. What date have we got?
Today, we are looking at May 23rd, 1969. They were playing the Big Rock Powwow down in Hollywood, Florida.
Right, Florida. That's interesting. It was one of the first southern states they really played frequently.
Yeah, and imagine that scene. It's a festival. You've got Johnny Winter, Muddy Waters, and then the Dead bring their whole San Francisco psychedelic thing.
Must have been quite the contrast for some folks there. This is the first of two nights, right?
That's it. And based on the GratefulDeadBook.com review, it gives a pretty good snapshot of where they were at. They apparently opened with, "He was a friend of mine."
Oh, yeah. How was that?
Described as sweet and sincere. A strong version, actually, even if maybe a little bit uneven in places.
Okay, sort of finding their feet, maybe. That happens.
Exactly. And they also played Me and My Uncle, but the review suggests it wasn't, a major highlight of this particular show.
Fair enough. Not every song can be the peak every night.
But then it sounds like things really started to, ignite when they got into the jamming.
Ah, okay. Where to kick off?
Dark Star. That was the launch pad.
Of course, a 69 Dark Star.
Yeah, and it flowed seamlessly into St. Stephen, and then the review calls the 11 that followed absolutely blazing.
Oh, I bet. That's St. Stephen the 11 combo from that era.
Yeah.
It's just pure energy, isn't it? Especially the 11. That rhythm is wild.
Totally. And it sounds like it didn't just end there. There was this purely chaotic outro jam, which then somehow morphed into this huge Turn On Your Love Light. We're talking over 30 minutes long.
Wow, a 30-minute Love Light. Classic Pigpen territory.
Absolutely. Big jams, classic Pigpen raps. The review says he was fully in command.
You can just picture it.
Yeah.
Him working the crowd, driving that groove, getting it to a fever pitch, as they say. Sounds like a scorcher.
Yeah. Definitely a peak moment. Interestingly, though, they also mentioned Hard to Handle from this show. Felt a bit like the band was still searching for their groove.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe not everything clicked instantly.
Seems like it. But the description of the actual sound of the band in 69 is great. Phil's bass is deep, almost distorted, apparently.
Yeah, that's that raw 69 mix.
And Bobby's guitar is grungy. Jerry's got this thick fuzz tone.
Right.
And Pigpen's vocals just cutting through it all, strong and gritty. It really paints a picture of that raw power.
It does. It's unfiltered Dead, before things got maybe a bit more polished later on. You hear the exploration.
So yeah, the absolute high point seems to be what they call the Live Dead Suite, that Dark Star opening things up.
Into that bubbling cosmic territory? I like that description. Almost like those Mickey and the Heartbeats jams.
Exactly. And then building through St. Stephen and exploding into the unpredictable madness of the 11.
Yeah, that sequence really captures it all, doesn't it? The delicate parts, the freakouts, the intensity. That's the magic right there.
It really is. So wrapping up on May 23rd, 1969, it sounds like a show that maybe took a little bit to fully catch fire.
Yeah, a bit of a slow burn at the start, perhaps.
But once it did, especially in that big jam sequence, it really delivered some, electrifying stuff.
Definitely. You can really hear them experimenting, finding that improvisational language that had become their signature, laying the groundwork.
For sure. It's amazing to think how that raw energy and, willingness to just go there musically built that connection they had for decades.
Absolutely. It's all there in those early takes.
And if you want to actually hear this show or others from This Week in Dead History, check out the link in our bio. It's under This Week in Grateful Dead History. We've got listening guides and everything.
Good stuff. Worth hearing how it all began to unfold.
Definitely. Maybe think about how that open-ended, sometimes chaotic approach really set the stage for the kind of deep musical conversations they were famous for later on.